Yeah! Oh, flipping heck. Don't even say it. I know Halloween is late, but I've got a backlog here and I'm running late. Yeah! Anyway, today we're going to do... What are we going to do? Alternator replacement on a Mk5 Mondeo 2 litre diesel. Right then, let's get the hell on with this because I want to get home today. First things first, protection. Okay then, in order to remove this alternator from this engine, step 1, remove engine from vehicle. No, don't remove the engine. I was only kind of joking. So if you started to remove the engine, you need to put it back. No, if you're going to do anything, disconnect the battery. No, first things first, you need to remove the metal casing on top of your fuel filter. There's 3 little 8mm screws holding it down. And then remove the wiring terminal from your fuel filter housing casing. That just pops off. There's a small wiring loom that runs around the outside of your fuel filter housing. If you disconnect all the wires and get a trim tool and remove the poppers where they plug into the metal housing, you can move this whole loom like that out of the way. And then just remove your 2 fuel pipes. The rear fuel pipe can be a little bit tricky to pull off. So we're going to remove this whole fuel filter housing assembly anyway. So it might be worth just loosening this housing first, and then you can pull this pipe off a bit easier. The reason I'm saying is because if you struggle pulling the pipe off or putting it back onto this connection on your fuel filter housing, you could snap this off. And believe me, these housings are not cheap. There's a 10mm bolt on the right hand side of the casing that's holding an electrical solenoid in place. You need to remove that bolt completely there and get that right out of the way. At the top right of the metal housing there's a 10mm nut. You need to get that nut and remove it. There. The stud that nut come off is an E6 bit. If you get that and undo that, this stud needs to come right out, because if it doesn't, I don't think you're going to be able to get this fuel filter housing off, or if you do, you're really going to struggle. So I'll undo that stud and bring that right out of the way. There will be another nut on the bottom right of this metal housing and another 2 10mm bolts on the left hand side of the housing. So I'm going to whack these 2 bolts out. There we go. You'll probably have to hold that housing on your last bolt because it's going to start flopping around. When all the bolts are undone, you can lift the housing forward a bit, and this electrical solenoid, you'll need to pull it towards you, and there's another bolt down here. You have to lift it off the bolt. It'll pull off, and then you can move it to one side, and then you can lift this whole housing out of the way. Okay, now on your fuel filter housing, where your 10mm bolt goes that holds this solenoid to the side of this casing, there's another 10mm nut here. Now what I normally do, it's up to you, but as you pull the solenoid off this when you're removing it, you can remove this nut and stud as a whole thing, and you can fling this in the bin. That's what I always do, because I only have it held on by 1. I don't see the reason for having it held on by 2. It just makes it a heck of a lot easier to put this back together just with the top bolt. I'm just saying, sometimes you have to cut a few corners and lose a few bolts along the way. You've then got your plug connector on your alternator. If you can slide something in below the plug connector to lever it, then push the tab in, then you can lift the plug connector off and move it out of the way. The main battery lead going onto the alternator, just remove the boot out of the way, undo it. It's a 13mm nut. Just remove the nut completely, and then just pull your battery lead off and move it out the way. Alright, just so we're clear here, you do not have to remove the engine mount. You can if you wanted to, but you don't have to. I never do. Also, you don't even have to jack the vehicle up. You can replace this alternator from underneath the bonnet. No problem at all, they are ever so easy. So, I'll carry the heck on. The first thing we're going to do is lock the tensioner in place so the belt is loose. Now I know you're limited for room and the engine's in the car, but if you use a long nose pair of pliers and a pin, you can insert that pin into that little hole on the tensioner. Then you can slide one hand down the side of the engine with a 15mm spanner, and you can turn that clockwise and then push the pin in. And that's our fan belt nice and loose. Now we can just slide this auxiliary belt off our tensioner and off the alternator pulley. And all we have left now is two 13mm bolts which are holding this alternator on. And you can obviously get down there, the side of the engine, quite easily with a 13mm socket. Once both of these bolts are cracked loose, they tend to wind out like finger tight, which is pretty handy. So they're not much of a problem to remove. There, pull that out. Then we'll get that one out of the way. Right, now this part is really important because obviously the dowels are holding the alternator tight to the bracket on the engine. So you'll want to lever the alternator off the engine bracket, basically. But you see this little piece here where the bolt goes through? Do not put a lever there and try and lever it because you will crack this piece of casing. I can tell you that because I've done it. So you learn by experience. No, put a lever bar between that 13mm bolt and the alternator and lever it from there, and then it will come forward and you're not going to do any damage to nothing. There. Now the top of the alternator is loose, you can let it drop down a little bit, then get a lever down the back of the alternator and you can lever it off its bottom dowel, and then that whole alternator will come off the engine. So there you go, one alternator. I can tell you now, these are like over £300 to buy from Ford. They're well expensive. So it depends why you're changing it. If it's just not charging, you'll have to change the whole unit. If it's just this overrunning alternator pulley that's seized up and causing your belt to flap around, you can replace this separately. I don't have the tools myself to replace these pulleys. Maybe I'll look into that later on. Now refitting the alternator is pretty straightforward. The bottom two lugs of the alternator will literally just slide onto this lug on the engine bracket, as long as the dowel on the alternator is pushed back far enough so it can slide on easily. You can then slide your 13mm bottom bolt into place and even get it started on the threads just so it can't go anywhere. And now push the top of the alternator onto its bracket and refit your top bolt. That's a little bit tight on the dowel there, but that's in, and now I can wind that bolt in finger tight. And obviously using your socket and ratchet, just tighten them two 13mm bolts up nice and tight. Done. Now your alternator belt, I know it's a struggle when it's in the car, but you would typically get it around the aircon and crankshaft pulleys and then round your alternator pulley first. Then you'll have to try and manipulate it around so that it will then come around your tensioner pulley. The trouble is it will tend to come off the crankshaft pulley, so it'd help if you had an assistant to hold it onto the crankshaft pulley. Then you can pull it round and then onto your tensioner pulley. It's a little bit tight down there, but it's doable. I've done loads of them. Right, and now just slide your spanner back down there and your long nose pliers onto your pin. Turn the spanner clockwise just a fraction, and then you can pull your pin out. And that's your belt tensioned up again. Pop your battery lead back on, refit your 13mm nut and tighten it up. Then put your boot back over so nothing can touch the live terminal. Pop your wiring terminal back on so it clips in. So anyway, let's put this housing back on. Remember, there's a stud down there on the bottom right. So you want to get that on the stud first and slot it in. And as I was saying earlier, while this casing is all loose, it's a lot easier to push this rear fuel pipe into position. Bingo. And now you can just fit all your bolts and nuts holding your fuel filter casing to the engine bracket, and pop your stud back in the top right and tighten that up. Then we can put the nut on the stud, and obviously don't tighten nothing up on this casing until all the nuts and bolts are in and on their threads. Then you can whack them all up and then refit your 10mm bolt to hold your solenoid to the casing. Right, and we'll nip that up with our 10mm spanner. And then you've got the simple task of just connecting up the multi-plug to your fuel filter housing and popping all your wiring back onto the housing, and that's it. One alternator replaced. I do have to say, these alternators are incredibly easy to replace on these engines, once you know how to do them, obviously. But I will say, the only reason I'm actually making this video today is because the engine's out of the car. Because if it were in the car, I wouldn't be able to film it. It's just too difficult. Anyway, that's it. So till the next time, guys, see ya!